ripped open a bag of chips, reached in, and felt that sinking realization. Half the bag is just air. It's a universal moment of snack time betrayal. But what if that empty space isn't a corporate scam, but a carefully engineered strategy that saves your chips from becoming dust? Behind the crinkly facade of every half-empty bag lies a mix of food science, psychological trickery, and cold, hard logistics. From the nitrogen gas that keeps your nacho cheese Doritos crisp, to the optical illusions that make you grab a larger bag, here's why slack fill, the industry term for that air, isn't just filler. It's the secret sauce of snack survival. The physics of snack preservation. Chip bags aren't filled with ordinary air. They're pumped with nitrogen gas, a process called modified atmosphere packaging, MAP. Oxygen is the enemy of crunch. It triggers oxidation, turning fats rancid and transforming crispy potatoes into stale cardboard. By replacing up to 80% of the air with nitrogen, manufacturers buy your chips weeks or months of shelf life. But nitrogen isn't just a preservative, it's a cushion. Without that gas bubble wrap, fragile chips would shatter during shipping and handling. Bags with 30 to 50% slack fill reduced breakage rates by 60% compared to tightly packed ones. That air isn't empty, it's working overtime. The psychology of the puffy bag. Humans are terrible at judging volume. We're visual creatures wired to equate size with value, and snack companies exploit this. A bag's dimensions, not its weight, are what catch your eye on the shelf. Research by Cornell's Food and Brand Lab found that consumers consistently perceive taller, wider bags as containing more product, even when labels list identical weights. Brands amplify this illusion with bold logos, vertical designs, and crinkly materials that make bags feel fuller. Ever notice how chips are layered horizontally in bags? It's a trick to maximize perceived depth. But the deception goes deeper. That satisfying whoosh when you tear open a bag? It's not just drama, it's a sensory cue tied to freshness. A 2021 study in food quality and preference showed that consumers associate the sound of nitrogen release with product quality, interpreting slack fill as proof of proper sealing. The same study found that people rate chips from puffy bags as tastier and crispier than those from vacuum-sealed packs, even when they're identical. The slack-fill tightrope regulators walk a fine line between consumer protection and industrial necessity. In the US, the FDA allows functional slack fill if it serves a purpose like preventing breakage, but lawsuits still erupt. In a landmark 2018 case, a judge dismissed a suit against Wise Foods, ruling that no reasonable consumer expects a chip bag to be full to the brim. Internationally, standards vary wildly. The EU mandates that slack fill cannot exceed 30% unless justified. Weight-based labeling lets companies reduce portion sizes while keeping bags the same physical size. A stealthy form of shrinkflation. Why the backlash doesn't matter. Despite viral outrage over air-filled bags, slack fill persists because it works. A 2023 Nielsen study found that 68% of consumers still prioritize bag size overweight when choosing snacks, and limited edition flavors in oversized bags outsell standard ones by 22%. The math is brutal. Reducing slack fill would force brands to either shrink bags and get lost on shelves, or add more product and eat into margins. For now, nitrogen and psychology are cheaper than reinventing packaging. The future of snack air innovators are tinkering with alternatives. Pop Chips uses vacuum-sealed bags for a no-air gimmick. But the real game changer might be augmented reality. Imagine pointing your phone at a bag to see a real-time X-ray of its contents. Until then, that whoosh of nitrogen isn't just preserving your chips, it's preserving an industry's bottom line. So next time you feel cheated by a half-empty bag, remember, without that air, you'd be eating crumbs.